Morning, Facebook. A couple things. Started uploading to Facebook or created my account in 2007, right when I got back from serving a 2-year and some change mission for the LDS Church, Southern Florida, working primarily with the Haitian population in Southern Florida. I just had a couple things to update. Humanities 101. So I went to college a little bit before UVSC, before I went to Florida, Utah Valley State College, and went back and went the community college route, Salt Lake Community College. What up, Bruins? And then completed my bachelor's degree at the University of Utah, not BYU. Both my parents went to BYU. I have family up in Rexburg, what used to be Ricks College, now it's BYU Idaho, which coincidentally, I have an uncle that's a humanities teacher, or was, up in that campus up in Rexburg. But in humanities, even if you look on it right now, if you just go fact check yourself and go look on Google or whatever, your search engine, what are the 5 major religions, world religions, that are listed? And it might be time for an update. So you'll find Buddhism, you'll find Islam, you'll find Hinduism, you'll find Christianity, and you'll find Judaism. What's missing? So the first one is Catholicism. Christians and Catholics have always been at odds because Catholicism, just like Roman Catholic, so Rome is in Italy, so that's during the time of the Roman legions. So ask yourself, who killed Jesus Christ? Was it the Jews or the Catholics? Because Christians aren't Jews and Christians aren't Catholics. It doesn't mean you can't befriend a Christian if you're a Jew or befriend a Jew if you're a Christian. I'm just saying, when the 5 major religions are listed and there isn't any type of delineation between Catholicism and Christianity, then you're already at odds with yourself in your head. What's the main font when you have to type an essay for your class? Times New Roman. What are the major languages? Romance language. So it sounds like romance, but the word Roman is in that word. So you have these Latin-based Romance languages. So Italian, Portuguese, French, Spanish, English, and now we speak American English. It doesn't sound the same as English. Just like Brazilians speak Brazilian, even though it's technically called Portuguese, but it's going to be a different accent or have obviously a bunch of differences, just like how any language forms. So the only reason I bring that up is there's so many things going on right now with political unrest, and I've been out here at street level now, technically homeless since January 2019, but I was able to couch surf a little bit and then change a car to a van and a van to a different van to keep my stuff somewhat secured while fighting a couple cases. One with Volkswagen Group of America, I've already posted on that to get my car back or get refunded. I still have the sales contract with an extended warranty and multiple towing trips, so eventually that's going to have to pay out. But it's crazy when it just comes down to peer-to-peer, like one person that just wants to check their email once or twice or 3 times and deal with one customer a week. It ultimately led to me being homeless, and then another Utah-based company, Extra Space Storage, auctioning all of my personal belongings. So anyone that knows me, which if you're watching this, we're friends on Facebook at some point. So all of my belongings, personal artwork since high school, clothing, like bikes, bike equipment, indoor soccer equipment, snowboards, like very significant snowboards to the snowboard industry, furniture, my Xbox. And it's funny, I'm still globally ranked in Halo. That's been around for 20 years. That came around right at Y2K, where we could interlink and play console versus console, and now they just dropped the PC versus console or whatever. But anyway, I'm just bringing that up because it just seems funny that people on a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo or some cool little entrepreneurship thing for the last 3 years, which has been a hit, or go on Shark Tank and all these different things, that people can raise 100 grand, 200 grand, all these different things to sell watches or backpacks. People that already have money that have won reality TV shows. That one's really personal. And I don't think a lot of people know that during my divorce, which is now, it's crazy, June 6th this year, 2020, that's 2 full years since my divorce finalized, let alone the controversy in 2017 when they had an intervention and a whole bunch of people where I didn't show up. They were just talking behind my back about things they thought I might be doing, or accusing me of cocaine and a bunch of things which I haven't done. And it's really frustrating. It's really disheartening to have your reputation just thrown underneath a bus, and just people just guessing, well, this might help, we could get you some help, blah, 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 when they're really not listening. So the reason I'm frustrated is, obviously, I'm still park surfing, and I'm in Southern California, in LA, during the coronavirus, sleeping outside, and my own parents won't offer any type of relief. They just want to go to church and just whatever. So obviously there's personal reasons why I removed my records from the Mormon church. But Mormonism should be added to that list too. When you hear over and over the 1%, go look at the percentage across the globe. How many people are Jewish? How many people are Mormon? You add the Mormons, which obviously the hub is going to be Utah, parts of Idaho and Arizona, where Brigham Young ended up settling with all the polygamy shit. And then you have the original story from upstate New York down to basically Joseph Smith got to about the Mississippi before everyone was like, okay, we're tired of this guy. So obviously I have some things to talk about, and that gets offensive for a lot of people, but when this is all getting exposed and there really isn't that much time, just 2 tick marks, 2 centuries. So right now it's 2020. If you look exactly 100 years ago, 1920, the Roaring Twenties, right after World War I, between World War I and World War II, that's the Spanish influenza. It's a population density, overpopulation, lots of people in close quarters, lots of things going on, just like right now. And then take another 100 years, you go to 1820, that's the supposed, like the first vision or whatever, and all this stuff. So it's really only a 200-year story for anyone who's never been converted to the Mormon church, where they're still sending out missionaries to foreign countries and places that Joseph Smith and Brigham Young never went to. So it's still a new religion. I'm no longer a part of that religion. That doesn't mean that I'm at odds or an enemy with every single person in Utah. It just means that there's some serious reasons why I dealt with abuse in my own, like, scout troop, my own home ward. I obviously know all the lingo, sang all the songs, was very active, all those different things. And it's just funny that people can claim to be Christians, and here I am still struggling to even just raise like 2 grand, 3 grand, maybe 4 grand. 4 grand would be ideal, just so I can buy a cheap minivan off Craigslist, so I can lock my stuff up at night. When you're in the park and you have 2 bags, I'm basically down to a winter jacket from Target and 2 backpacks. And when you have to decide, I'm going to leave this here, I have to go here to stand in line to get a shower, to get some food, you leave yourself vulnerable. And I've had stuff stolen from me like crazy. So I have some input or some feelings about how we can actually help homelessness, especially in California, and a lot of things that are relevant politically right now. But the reason I wanted to post this, and it might be too long to update, it's already 9 minutes, is just to see if there's even one person that's just like, hey, I've got 4 grand, like, it's just sitting here, can I help you out? Obviously in the next 5 or 10 years, like, I'm obviously an entrepreneur, I'm obviously educated, I'm not someone that's just going to end up staying on a park bench for the next 20 years. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of relief, because it's been so difficult. It took 2 months just to get food stamp and the general relief to get enough money to just do the standard basic needs because of the coronavirus. Everything's been shut down. It's hard to plug your phone in, and trying to do things like go get a load of laundry finished, go get some food, all these different things. So take whatever side you want. But the other thing about these challenges on YouTube, like MGTOW, MGTOW, men go their own way, that has to do with my absolutely fucking, sorry for the language, but my older brother is just someone I cannot stand at all. But I took 2 years and a little over that to do a personal challenge with this MGTOW. I'm going to go my own way and just be a dude living in a van, to challenge myself like I did as a Mormon missionary to sex sobriety. No sexual contact, nothing. And that's hard for a Scorpio like me. That's just like, I know I can date, I know I'm attracted to females, or I can go talk to females, but I took 2 years to just say, I'm just going to do my own thing and see what comes of it. And it's crazy. It's crazy to see what it's like to go 2 years and not be around like the care and the love of females, because I've had such a cold upbringing with my mom, my little sister and stuff like this, where just people like to just basically repeat things that they don't really understand, or speak to topics that they don't, where they don't really have much value with their words. Like 2010 was only 1 decade ago, and I was the one with the last name Guzzi, none of my siblings, in Haiti as a volunteer translator, not a missionary, helping save orphans, helping translate in hospitals, seeing knife wounds and gunshots and dead bodies and a whole bunch of things that you hear these songs like Bo Burnham and all these people on YouTube that they think it's funny, until you realize how much military's in my background. I have a younger brother who's still in the military now, but he's a pussy. I'm just saying, like, if he's getting some sort of a discount at Chick-fil-A for having his little military card, and I'm the one that's on ground volunteering in Haiti, like watching legs get amputated, you'd think maybe there should be some sort of warmth for someone who actually cares about the Haitian people, notably dark skin, Black Lives Matter, that type of thing, where I have a little bit different input on my feelings for these inequalities with race and gender and religion or ethnic origin, all these different things, where I have a lot. And all of 2019 I filmed a full vlogumentary, sometimes 2 or 3 vlogs in a day, sometimes they're really long, sometimes they're short, and I haven't really uploaded much because I was just trying to get some recourse for my car and my belongings, and all these Utah-based companies like Vivint Inc. and Vivint Solar that just, if you can't convert Utah and you're running around in your white shirts and ties to different countries trying to convince everyone it's okay to baptize dead people, dead people's names, where obviously Ancestry.com or genetics or genealogy are a hot topic right now, and you have all these people that, like, 0.02% of the population, you're not going to baptize all the living people and all the people who have died when there are 8 billion people currently on the planet. It just doesn't make sense. But you might see that has to do with one person having multiple children with multiple wives, and wondering why BYU has 4 locations. You don't see Texas A&M in 4 locations. Like, it's not a real thing. So this needs to be addressed, but my hope is that maybe someone will take a little bit of human sympathy and help me get off the streets, so I can put some of this experience and some of these impressions and feelings and hard research and thought to how we can actually solve some of these problems and get some of these people off the streets, or at least help improve the standard of living. Being homeless is no joke. It's not fun. But sometimes it is. Sometimes you catch things that other people don't. Sometimes you're outside and you see things happen, or you're experiencing things, or you meet people that you wouldn't somewhere else. So the situation has happened, and I've just been allowing it to happen, but it needs to change at some point. So if there's anyone that wants to help out, either with a van or something, or a couple people want to come hang out in California that want to work on a camper van or have a little bit of spare time, I'm obviously not able to completely work right now because of the coronavirus and not having transportation, but I can get by for now. So if there's anyone with some spare time that wants to come hang out, it's still summer. If you're not at work or something, you want to go see all those cliff jumping spots that I scouted last year, all the free recreation, chipping greens and stuff like that, where it doesn't really cost that much money, just like when we used to get out of the summer when we were 16, 17 years old. You don't need a ton of money to survive during summer. But anyway, just thought I'd put that out there. I appreciate some help, but I have a whole lot of information to share at some point, and different experiences fighting that court case and that little bit of jail time over smoking a cigar and a bunch of dumb stuff. So there's that, and then I have some blogs saved. I'm on an Obama phone right now because my phone is still cracked and not working from that altercation with the police officer. So I'm hoping to get some money back from that and from Volkswagen. So that's just another hopeful assurity if someone wants to help donate, that I can pay back whatever's donated. Just like that, basically $280 in, when was that, February, when I was in Vegas? Like Doug and Jeff and a few other people, who else? Josh. A few people, like, I can pay that money back obviously at some point. It just helped me to at least get a Greyhound ticket to come back and get my winter jacket and all these different things and to get some food. But it's just funny that I can't adequately raise $2,400 or $4,000 to get a van. Meanwhile, people are on Kickstarter like, oh wow, look, we raised all this money for watches and stuff. I'm like, okay, where's the charity? Like, I was trying to get off the ground and start working, pay your money back. But anyway. But the other thing that was a hard sacrifice, so 2 years no sex, no sexual contact at all, and 2 years no snowboarding other than once or twice where I snuck on the lift. That's like the OG, like, you can sneak in there sometimes, but that's really hard for me. That's the number one passion I have in life besides golf, is snowboarding. So 2 years, again, just like when I was an LDS missionary, 2 years no sexual contact and no real ability to snowboard consistently to increase my skill and get back into a competitive form and stuff like that. Because it's funny, I'm divorced, I don't have a kid, I just have 2 backpacks. I'm back in the dating scene again. So send some babes. Does anyone want to come out and hang out at the beach for a while? Just come hang out. I just can't afford the Airbnb right now. I'm sure I will in the next few years, but I'm not going to be a homeless wreck my whole life. It's just more of an experience of what happened while you're trying to keep your self-worth and not really budge on some of these hard things, where issues with business fraud with my ex-business partner, and my logos, company logos, and people that just don't really want to put themselves in my shoes, to be like, I'm still walking around sleeping on benches or on, like, all winter on parts of Miami, like cold nights. So it'd be nice to get some relief, but if not, whatever, I'll still figure it out. Anyway, thanks for your time. Hopefully there's this conference coming up for fall, we can have a lot of pressure from everyone who's not a member of the LDS faith, report the actual numbers of Mormon suicides starting 2020, go 2019, 2018, so we can get some clarity on Mormon suicides in the epidemic.